just trying to sell you something you don't need. I'm Chris with Absolute Restoration. When we come out, we don't tell you what's wrong. We show you with photos, videos, and documentation. You'll see exactly what we see so you can make your own decision. And we back our work with a 50-year warranty and a 25-year algae warranty. Plus, no cost upgrades with 0% financing and no payment for 6 months.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 9.
We are finally at the weekend and we get to enjoy all of those busy weekend plans across North Mississippi. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe. We'll take a look at all of those forecasts for each of those respective events throughout our evening here in the Room to Room Weather Center. But let's go ahead and focus on the overarching theme for our weekend, and that's the warm temperatures. I mean, from last night to now, dramatic shift. Let's look at those temperature changes. We're talking 15 degrees Oxford, Water Valley, and Grenada, 12 Kosciuszko and Eupora, even 7 there towards Columbus, 9 in Starkville. Guys, it is so much warmer, so much more mild tonight, and definitely not going to be a morning where you need the long sleeves. Those temperatures continue to climb. That will continue even into our Saturday, and Saturday even ramping up into Sunday. So a warming trend that we all get to enjoy here in North Mississippi, but we're also looking at that Mississippi mugginess returning to our pattern. We're looking at what we call our misery meter because, of course, mugginess isn't exactly enjoyable. We'll track just when to expect those peak conditions in just a moment, and some sprinkles on Saturday. You know, confidence is climbing that we do get a few drops making its way to the surface, but overall coverage, you see it, remaining pretty minimal. 70 degrees by 10. We're 67 there by 1 a.m. But look at tomorrow morning, going to be in the low 60s. I remember tracking the low 50s with you guys last night for this morning and saying enjoy those last few moments. Well, I hope you enjoyed them because it's about to be a much more mild pattern ahead and a much more muggy pattern ahead as well. Outside in Pontotoc, we're 72 degrees, dew points in the upper 50s, but the reason why the moisture is returning, that southerly wind right now at about 5 to 10 miles an hour there in Pontotoc County. A beautiful night sky, but definitely getting some of that haziness returning with that cloud cover and that moisture. 71 degrees, 58 degree dew points there in Macon, so even Noxubee County seeing that moisture return and a beautiful night sky there in Noxubee County. Down in Hattiesburg, this was the place to be this week, and I'm not going to spoil anything. We'll look at the celebrations coming up later on this broadcast, but guys, we brought home 6 titles to North Mississippi. I guess we're the softball part of the Magnolia State because my word did we show up down in Hattiesburg. 75 degrees right now and 64 degree dew point, so you can definitely tell down close to the coastal regions, the moisture is definitely in play. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar, again, we're seeing clear air mode out of our Monroe County radar site, but you do see some of those greens showing up close to the Memphis radar site. Put this on a loop and you'll be able to see that the large part of those showers still out there towards northern and central Arkansas. Not much making its way to the Mississippi River just yet. I mean, maybe right there, those little dots showing up, that might be a bit of a sprinkle, but overall, we're basically between the rainfall in Tennessee and between the rainfall in Arkansas, eventually getting those rain chances here in our area. But today, it's been dry. Even if we expand things out, you can see that the large part of the rainfall has not been that heavy. So this is not going to be a heavy rain producer, except for those storms out there in Texas. But today, in areas that have seen the rainfall, ½ inch as our peak rainfall total. Yeah, that's not anything to write home about. So unfortunately, not getting the rainfall that we need. So if you have a garden at home, make sure to water it heading into Saturday because there will not be sufficient moisture for it. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar continues to pay attention to this system out there towards Texas and Oklahoma. That's where severe weather threats are in place, but as that continues to carry off there towards the east, eventually making its way here to the Mississippi area, at least giving us a few of those pop-up showers. Not getting the coverage that they're getting in Oklahoma or Texas, but definitely getting a few chances throughout our weekend. Let's go ahead and focus on Futurecast into those overnight hours. And again, you're getting a look at those lighter greens that are showing up. While lighter greens are great, that's still telling me that a lot of the moisture is going to be elevated. What we're looking for is this darker green, and those yellows especially going to be beneficial to our area and getting that rainfall down to the surface. And we eventually do get it. It looks like we almost develop a low pressure center right there towards Searcy and Little Rock. That's going to wrap around some of these bands of moisture and eventually work its way into some of those heavier showers. I mean, if only Jonesboro was in North Mississippi, because that looks like a very beneficial area. And right here, you kind of see that low pressure formation. You can see how it's kind of spinning around. We have those bands in that counterclockwise motion. Looks like we're getting a secondary low to develop, and we'll eventually try to work around some of these bands here to North Mississippi and give us some better moisture. That a welcome, and I think that low pressure center developing will allow some of these rain chances to reach all the way to the ground and maybe bring a light rainfall rather than just a sprinkle. But overall coverage still expected to be about 10 to 20% throughout the day. And honestly, the rainfall going to be good because it'll help bring some rain-cooled air. It's just not going to be the case for a lot of us here in North Mississippi as coverage remains minimal. So the next 24, we're still going to be warm. We're still going to be muggy. 63 to start, 85 by the afternoon, despite that cloud cover still being there. So clouds can only do so much, and that sunshine and Mississippi late spring weather is definitely going to dominate this pattern. Coming up in the next 60 seconds, we're looking ahead to that weekend forecast, how warm we're going to be getting. And yes, timing that out county by county with those sprinkles on our Saturday and even into our Sunday. All of that coming up as Mississippi Live Weather at 9 continues right after the break.
At Vibe Aesthetics and Wellness, we believe confidence isn't just how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.
Looking for a place to finally call home? At Tupelo Home Center, we make it easy. From finding the perfect home to making financing a breeze, we'll take care of everything. Your new home is closer than you think. Pre-qualify today at TupeloHomeCenter.com.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Oh, going on a little journey there. Welcome back to the Room to Room Weather Center for Mississippi Live Weather at 9. What we're looking at is limited rain chances this weekend. I did put a 20% there Saturday. I hope I don't regret it, but I do feel a little bit more confident that we're getting some sprinkles, at least to the surface, on our Saturday. Beyond that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the golden opportunities to finally get those showers and storms here to North Mississippi, and I think we will definitely do that. In Booneville tonight, we're 73 degrees, dew point at 59, but what I like to see up there are the stars shining brightly because that tells me that cloud cover is still remaining pretty limited, but cloud cover is expected to build overnight, even into parts of Batesville. I'll give you a hint of our 6th state championship. It's close to this camera. 77 degrees in Batesville tonight, 61 degrees those dew points. And again, getting that moisture back, and those dew points are definitely climbing. Lowndes County, Caledonia showing up with those starry skies as well, 73 degrees, so definitely a warmer night compared to what we were sitting at this time yesterday. Again, told you guys to soak it in while you could, because unfortunately the drier, cooler air is not going to be around for several days, honestly, at least over the next week. So our Mama Justice Doppler radar staying dry. That's the one thing with this moisture is it hasn't produced any rainfall to the surface, and that's what we expect to remain the case heading overnight as well. 69 degrees by 11, 66 by 2 a.m., and there by 5 a.m., 20% coverage. That's where that band of rainfall works its way in, what we saw in Futurecast just a moment ago. And let's go ahead and look at that specifically for the North Mississippi area right here on our Friday night. So cloud cover, you can see just gradually building in more and more. This is going to be more of that dense cloud cover rather than that thin, hazy cloud cover that we had today. 2 a.m., you're getting a good look at some of those light showers, but you see right there where those yellows and greens show up, even these darker greens that are showing up towards Clarksdale, Batesville, West Helena, Clarksdale, sorry, I already said Clarksdale. Tunica is what I meant to say. Olive Branch and Senatobia. That's where we're getting some of those moderate showers. Yes, a little bit of an increase in those impacts. So I think that we'll get some of that rainfall at least reaching the surface there by 5 and 6 o'clock on our Saturday morning. We're 70 Senatobia, 73 Clarksdale and Tunica. So already seeing where the moisture is more prevalent with that warmer air in place, but we're 67 Water Valley and Oxford, 63 Tupelo and Starkville, and 60 still showing up Vernon, Aliceville, and Hamilton. So Northwest Alabama to Northwest Mississippi, quite a disparity when we're talking temperatures. Why it matters into our Saturday morning? Well, we have our youth fishing rodeo over there at Trace State Park. 72 degrees by 8 a.m., looking dry but cloudy. 75 by 9 with that 20% coverage, and even there by 10, 79 degrees. So it is going to be, actually, I meant to change the times on this. It is 9 to 11. I will have to adjust that. Either way, we're looking at some of those hit or miss showers throughout those fishing hours on our Saturday morning. Still going to be a great time. And hey, you got to match this fish right here. See if you can catch a little man right there. But nonetheless, I already told Annalise Cruz it fits the age range. So honestly, we might swing by, but we'll see, because I always love a good fishing day, and I hope Cruz does as well. He just doesn't know what he's missing out on just yet because he's never fished before. So what better opportunity than tomorrow at the Youth Fishing Rodeo. Saturday morning, there's a look at some of those rain chances. Don't have the cloud cover populated in here, but we do get a look at those greens showing up at least more evident here. So 12 p.m., there you're getting a look at some of that lighter rainfall, but where we get some of those darker greens to show up, DeWitt, Arkansas, Clarksdale still continuing to get those bands working their way on through. By 3 p.m., still getting that towards Holly Springs, Oxford, and Grenada, and that will gradually shift through the area. So I do think that we get not only some sprinkles, but I do think some light rainfalls on the horizon. And I know you're talking to me and saying, Gabe, that is so nitpicky. That's just like pulling teeth trying to get rainfall in the area. Light rain is going to be more impactful than a sprinkle, and I think that's what we're going to be dealing with in parts of our Saturday for just a couple of us, not everybody getting that oh so impactful rainfall. 86 degrees New Albany and Tupelo. We're 85 Eupora and Kosciuszko, 86 Belzona and Greenwood, even 88 showing up Clarksdale and Tunica. For folks in Clarksdale and folks in Tunica, if we get that much rainfall, I don't think we reach 88 degrees. I think we'll remain in the mid 80s, but that rain-cooled air will definitely be a benefit to us if it's able to verify out there in northwest Mississippi. Overnight, it's doing what summer patterns usually do. Overnight's more calm, and the afternoons are usually where things ramp up. So Saturday night into our Sunday morning, looking like it will be dry, calm, and not clear, still dealing with that cloud cover, but dry and calm for sure heading into our Sunday morning. Looking at those Sunday low temperatures, still going to be on the milder side with 61 Bruce, Houston, and Tupelo, 62 New Albany and Corinth, 66 Senatobia and Greenwood, and 68 Cleveland, all the way up the river to Tunica, and 67 in South Haven. Let's take a look at that Sunday forecast. Again, we took cloud cover off of this so that way we're able to visualize that rainfall a bit more. And as you see, throughout the early hours of our Sunday, going to be relatively non-impactful. The bulk of that rainfall out there towards Arkansas, and by 3, 4, and 5 o'clock, there's the golden opportunity. And that's not just light rainfall. Where you're seeing those reds show up or those yellows, that's where we're getting more measurable amounts of rainfall, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch if we get lucky enough. And again, that's not anything impressive, but it's more than what we've gotten all week long. But when we're talking isolated coverage, let's measure this out. In the Fox area just east of Winona, that's a 7-mile potentially storm, but more than likely a 7-mile heavy rain producer just in the Montgomery County area. Let's go to this one up there towards Sledge and the Delta community. If I measure that one out, it's going to be less than 7, about 6 miles across. So that's altogether a 13-mile area that will be getting these heavier showers. I'll tell you this, there's more than 13 miles across the North Mississippi viewing area, so more miss than hit in the grand scheme of things throughout those Sunday rain chances. We're 89 Grenada, 88 Bruce and Houston, 88 Tupelo and Amory, 86 Iuka and Booneville, and we're seeing 88 Belzona, Greenville, and Cleveland. I think 90s are not impossible. I think that's only for a few of us, though. It's not going to be the overall high temperature for North Mississippi, but I do expect a few of us to cross that 90-degree threshold as we top out for those Sunday high temperatures, even for Monday and Tuesday there, as we reach that peak heating of our 7-day stretch at 89 degrees. Well, let's go ahead and bring in that misery meter. As we look at those dew points, those are definitely climbing. I mean, look at Tuesday and Wednesday. We're in the 70s for those dew points across the region. That's where we start to reach that miserable category. That's why we call it the misery meter, is because while it is Mississippi mugginess, I guess that's not something that we're proud of, because it does add so much to our heat indices and makes it a little bit more unbearable outside. So adding that back to the forecast, folks, it's May, it's that time of year, and folks getting off for summer break already. And summer break, yes, has to be hot and muggy. So welcome to Mississippi. But that rain stretch, that we are expected to get some of that rain-cooled air Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, scattered in fashion in the coverage. So we'll take what we can get at this point, but that's the highest chances of at least a few showers working their way through North Mississippi. We'll take what we can get, that's for sure. And you can already see that rain-cooled air as it drops temperatures into the low to mid 80s. But folks, it's heating up temperature-wise, but it was heating on the diamond earlier this evening down in Hattiesburg. Was talking to you guys about that let's go ahead and take a listen as our state title winners brought those championships home. And the latest edition, well, you'll have to take a listen.
Walk-off duty here. Will Haley Hefner potentially, she'll see a strike. That's a real good response by Addison Davis to come right back in and find strike one. Had a hunch probably that Hefner was taking, and being able to find the zone there, really good. This is going to be looped into center, and Haley Hefner going to walk it off for the Tigers. So Haley Hefner going to walk it off for South Panola. Clutch base hit out into center field. And South Panola going to walk it off and become the 6A state champs.
Trophy for your 2026 MHSAA 6A softball state champions, the South Panola Tigers.
And there, that's going to bleed onto the broadcast. That's a happy softball community for South Panola, able to hold that trophy high with lefty.
And if you want to see the rest of our winners, tune in tonight at 10 and we'll do a full breakdown of our North Mississippi State Softball Championship winners. We had several of them here in our area, and we're so proud of what they were able to do down in Hattiesburg. Baseball goes next week. Let's see if we can bring 6 home as well. But either way, we'll have that full breakdown of our winners coming up tonight at 10. Did see, I believe that was Bailey asking in the chat about the rain next week. I don't expect severe weather with this. That's the good thing about this. I do think a few rumbles of thunder are not impossible. I do think that they'll pack a punch with some heavy rainfall. But if we're talking damaging storms, I don't think that's on the table for next week. Just with how things are shaping up, you don't exactly have the right parameters in place to get these going, with the bulk of the severe weather threat actually out west into the Midwest. And of course, we'll look at that in more detail coming up tonight at 10 as well. So I appreciate you asking. Great question. Fortunately, it should just be a rainy pattern and giving us exactly what we need here in North Mississippi and some actually measurable amounts of rainfall. So looking forward to it, but perhaps a few chances this weekend as well. If you missed it at the top of our broadcast, we'll go over that again at 10 o'clock. And we'll be able to go over this in detail. Pam, I'm curious. I saw that you saying in the chat, I wish your screen was bigger. I don't know what to do about that. if it's a graphic thing, specifically what graphic was small, but you know, with screen sizes, unfortunately, that is not something that we can control. We go full screen on any device. So if you want it to be on a bigger screen, well, the great thing that you guys can do at home to help that out is download our Mississippi Live Weather app on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and you'll be able to use a bigger screen for it, so that way it's a little bit more visual on those graphics. And then you do have our socials there at the bottom of your screen if you want it to be a little bit more accessible right here in the palm of your hand. You can, of course, follow us Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that, or just go ahead and download the Mississippi Live Weather app. That's the easiest way to do it. And we'll, of course, keep you guys updated through that, even at 10 o'clock tonight. Speaking of, that's our next broadcast. And, what? Hang on. Graduation's on Friday night. Is that talking about next Friday, Miss Holly? That's literally my mother-in-law, so I could just ask her. But since you're in the chat, if you want to let me know, graduation on Friday night, we can get a graduation forecast together. Of course, that can be done heading over this next week stretch, but hopefully if it's next Friday, it looks to be a little bit drier. So that's at least a positive. So live shows coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. That's going to be our next broadcast, and we'll go over those rain chances into next week. But what we're also looking at is our weekend schedule, with it being 6, 9, and 10 with our meteorologist, Caleb Edelblut. He'll keep you guys updated on that forecast ahead and even track out a few of these showers and storms that work their way through North Mississippi. So you want to stay tuned to that and what potential impacts you'll have for those weekend plans. But I know Saturday's a busy slate. We're going over all of those plans and what to expect coming up at 10. We'll see you then. Wait, dig an update. Graduation's on Friday night of this next week. So we'll work to get a forecast on that coming up so that way we can let folks know. We do need a full graduation schedule. So if anyone wants to put their graduation down in the chat, we'll take a look at that and hopefully get you a graduation forecast for your respective day. Congratulations, class of 26. But either way, we'll see you tonight at 10 and hopefully give you guys some context clues into next week and what that graduation forecast will look like. We'll see you then.
Every legend starts somewhere.
Not with perfection, but with the decision.
The decision to show up, work harder, and believe this place can change everything.
At Northeast, you're more than just a number.
We're built on opportunity, and our students are willing to rise to the occasion.
Here, success isn't handed to you, it's earned.
You don't just leave with a degree, you leave as a legend.